Welcome back. The third application that is offered by HotPotato that I'm going to be going over is JCross. JCross allows you to add words to a grid that you can expand or shrink to your liking and include clues for students that'll help them complete it. First things first, let's add a title and save it. So I'm going to call this one Sample JCross. I almost said oh my god, I almost said a bunch of things. Click on File, Save Data File. I'm going to put it in the folder where I've been putting everything else and call it Sample JCross. Notice the .jcw means JCross. Click on Save. And now I can begin working on this. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to include some sample words here and then see how it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to put in, let's see, H-E-A-R-T. Once you click on a box, you can use your arrow keys to navigate the grid. Don't think of using these for that. They have a different function, which I'll get into a little bit later. So let's just create a few more. Let's see. Alright, that should be enough. Now let's just see what this looks like. And this box is a little bit small, but this letter I put here was in fact an M, even though it looks kind of like an N. Alright, so let's go to the web. And it's not letting me create my crossword yet. That's because I didn't assign any clues or definitions to these words. So if I just have my crossword here, I'll just have a bunch of spaces where these letters are, and the student would just have to randomly guess what they are. And that doesn't make any sense for a crossword puzzle, so they don't let me make it in the first place. So to create clues or definitions, I click on Show Clues window on the right-hand side here. And it'll separate my words by across words and down words. To create a clue, you just click on the clue box next to the word you want to create a clue, and then type one in. You'd have to do the same for all of them. If you don't do them for all of them, you will not be able to create the project. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Click on the web with the 6 in the corner. Save it to your folder of your choice. And let's take a look. Here is our crossword puzzle. All I have to do is click on either 1, 2, or 3, and it'll send me to the hint, or to the definition. Across, it'll give me a cross since it's in a crossword, and 1 because it's the first word here. I look at the clue, I type it in, I click enter, and there it is. Alright. Now, let's say I don't want to do it by hand, and I want the computer to create a crossword for me based on information I give it. You can do this. What you'll do is you go to Manage, and you'll go to Create Grid from List of Words. Now, what it already has here is what I already created. It has my words, and it has the clues that I attached to them. So I'm going to get rid of all of that, and just create a few words. Let's see. Up, down, left, right. Whoop. You need to enter each word on a separate line, so I need to be careful with that. North, south, east, west. Once again, 1 on each line. I could also resize my grid here, which will give me this number as, this number x this number grid. So if I have 8 as it is now, it's an 8 by 8 grid. All I have to do is click on Make Grid, apply it, and here I have the grid that I asked for the computer to create for me, and it is connected in the way in a random way. The program just found some way to connect these words together, went with it, and that's fine. If you want to organize these words yourself, unfortunately you'll have to do it manually. Now, since I created it through the grid, these words don't actually have clues yet, so I'm going to need to type in some random ones. I'm not going to type in real clues this time since there are so many. Let me just get a handle on this. Sometimes it takes a few clicks to actually get there. Alright. And we'll just take a look at it and see what that looks like. Save it again. Replace the old file. View it in the browser. And here it is. Notice how it doesn't leave any excess space. I have a lot of I have like a whole line of excess space here. The program recognizes that and knows that I wouldn't find that very appealing, so it gets rid of that. Just to emphasize that a little bit more, I'm going to go to Manage, Resize Grid, and create an unreasonably large size. Oh, doesn't that look ugly? And I'm also going to move my entire project around using these arrow keys. I told you I'd show you what these things do. I can move my project wherever I want. Let's move it in a really unreasonable position, like here. Like, why would I even do that to myself? Create the page again. Replace the file. And if you notice, it is exactly the same as my old quiz. The computer recognizes all of this excess space that I'm doing and automatically condenses it in the best way it possibly can, which is a very nice feature. And that's really all it takes to create one of these crosswords. Another thing I want to point out is that it's not case sensitive. Most crosswords aren't case sensitive anyway. You find out what the words are and cases don't matter. You can change it if you'd like. What you can do is that you can go to Options and just simply select Grid Input Case Sensitive. That's all you have to do. Now that was a rather short tutorial for a simple application, so let's take some time and go over some more of the configuration window, but in a way that can really spruce up your crossword and the way it looks. Now, the menu that I'm going to be going over is available for all of the potatoes, not just JCross. Alright, we go to Options, Open Configuration Window, and then we go to Appearance. Here we can change the background by adding a URL of a picture of your choice. I have one copied on my computer already. If you know the name of a preferred font you'd like to use, you can type it in here and separate the three that you would like by a comma. You can also change the font size. The only font sizes that I'm aware of that work here are small, medium, and large. You can also change the colors of basically everything, from your page background color to the navigation bar color. I'm going to change this into a bunch of random colors, just to give you an example of what you can do. It's taking me a few more seconds to change absolutely everything. It's very, very comprehensive. And then I'll click on Display in Browser. And here you could see everything I included here, all the colors that I've changed, and the picture that I've added to the background with the URL. Alright. What you can do is that if I really, really like the way I set this up, I can click on Save. And it says that this file already exists because your default is most likely the English 6 configuration. What you might want to do is not save over that configuration. What you're going to want to do is click on Save As and create a new configuration. Let's call it English Redo. And it'll automatically present you with the configuration menu, which is found within your HotPotato's application, and that would be the best place to save it since it goes with all the other configurations that are here. So just click Save, and then that will be your configuration. That is all I have to show you for the JCross potato. There's only 2 left before we move on to the masher. So, until next time.